Back in 2021, we made a video covering some of the best free party games on Steam. Since then, the genre has grown so much that it felt like the right time to revisit this topic. There are dozens of new titles that more people should know about, and all of them are completely free. This updated list focuses on games that are fun, easy to learn, and great for group sessions, both online and for some locally. As usual, a lot of these titles are lesser known, which means you might discover something entirely new to play with your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And with all of that said, here is our list of the best free party games that you can play right now on Steam. Retail Wars throws you into a chaotic store environment where everyone is racing to grab items, complete objectives, and block each other from reaching their goals. The supermarket setup works surprisingly well as a party setting because every round feels unpredictable. Items move around, aisles become congested, and the physics turn even the simplest tasks into something way more competitive. The pacing is fast and encourages short bursts of gameplay. You don't need any prior experience or special knowledge to understand how everything works, which makes it easy to introduce to new players. Since everyone is thrown into the same hectic space at once, each match really produces surprising interactions that keep people laughing and the game just really fun. It becomes even more entertaining with a full group because there's constant movement on the screen and players bump into each other, block doors, and scramble towards basically the same objectives. The maps are also really small, so it keeps the pressure high and makes sure that everyone pretty much gets a chaotic experience as well. Great game and a great start to this list. MicroWorks is built around extremely rapid mini challenges that last only a few seconds. The concept is pretty simple. Everyone participates in a short task, the game moves on, and the point totals slowly build. The fun comes from how quickly things change. You don't really have time to overthink the rules. You react, you move, and then you're already in the next challenge. The constant flow of the game keeps everyone engaged. Even players who fall behind stay invested because each new round is a fresh opportunity to catch up. The visual style is clean and easy to read, so each micro game is immediately understandable. This keeps the momentum high and ensures that nobody gets stuck learning complicated mechanics. It works really well in groups because the quick rounds remove any downtime. The games are usually really short, which makes it perfect when you want something energetic that never really slows down. Fishards is a physics-based brawler where you control floppy cartoon-like fish battling in arenas. The movement is intentionally exaggerated, and that is what makes the combat entertaining. You need to account for the unpredictable swings and bounces, which often leads to last-second knockouts or unexpected recoveries. Different fish types have unique abilities, and learning how each one behaves adds a layer of depth to the game. Even with the lighthearted design, there is a surprising amount of control once you understand the rhythm of the movement. Timing your charges, adjusting your angle, and really using the environment becomes more natural the longer you play. It's a great pick for groups because the arenas are small and packed with hazards. Since the rules are simple and the objectives are pretty straightforward, it's really easy for anyone to join in without needing much explanation. Not really too much to this one, but it's a good brawler and definitely deserves a spot on this list. Grapples Galore is built entirely around swinging, momentum, and aerial movement. Every player uses a grappling hook to zip around the map while attempting to knock opponents out of the arena. Once you get the movement down, it feels incredibly smooth, and mastering the angles and timing becomes part of the fun. The maps are designed with verticality in mind. You climb, swing, and launch yourself from one structure to another. Even small mistakes can send you flying in the wrong direction, but you can often recover through quick thinking. That constant interaction with the physics keeps matches feeling really fun and really varied. It is a strong choice for groups that like movement-based games because the skill gap variability is pretty noticeable. Players who learn how to chain grapples together will feel very agile, while, newer players can still have a good time because just swinging around and making contact with other people is also fun. The mix of control and unpredictability fits pretty well in the party setting and is exactly why this is a good game and why it's on this list. Custom Party is a flexible party game where you create your own minigames using a simple editor. You can adjust rules, objectives, movement, and layouts to build the experience you want. The toolset is easy to understand, which lets you start experimenting almost immediately. The appeal really comes from the variety. You can host straightforward competitive games or build strange physics challenges that make no sense but lead to fun moments. Since everything loads pretty quickly, it is easy to test ideas and tweak them and share them with your friends. The creativity from players leads to an endless supply of new sessions and games and experiences. It is especially good for playing with friends who enjoy customizing their own experiences. Instead of repeatedly playing the same minigames, you can tailor the different challenges to people in your party. The game is just entertaining at the end of the day, and it's definitely one you should check out. Paw Pirates puts you on a small island filled with objectives, treasure, and hazards. You play as animal characters competing in team-based challenges that involve pushing, collecting, and racing to keep points. The maps are pretty bright and readable, which helps players understand what is happening even during pretty hectic moments. The movement is responsive and works well with simple mechanics. When teams collide near a shared objective, the match becomes very unpredictable. People bump into each other, try to block pathways, and scramble for treasure drops, and those moments create really intense back and forth swings that make each round really special. The objectives are clear and the controls don't really require too much precision, so this game is pretty much good for anyone. People can jump in immediately and understand what they need to do, and the smaller arenas also keep people close together, which leads to a steady pace and lots of interaction. I'm not sure this is one you're going to be playing for hours and hours and hours, but it is a really good game and you should download it because it's free. Cheese rolling is a race down steep hills where everyone chases oversized wheels of cheese. The slopes are full of bumps and uneven ground, so your character tumbles and slides constantly. The physics do the heavy lifting here, creating funny and unpredictable moments as people just lose control. The goal is pretty simple: reach the finish line before everyone else does. Despite the basic concept, though, the variety of hills and obstacles give each run its own personality. Sometimes you sprint cleanly down a hill, and other times you trip immediately and roll the entire way. It's pretty ideal for quick sessions because rounds are very, very short. You can play several races in just a matter of a few minutes. Since there is no complex strategy involved, it's a quick pick if you want something light and fast to play with your friends, and it's free, so check it out. Catch Me If You Can is an asymmetrical chase game where one player hunts everyone else. The maps have plenty of hiding spots and routes that allow players to dash around corners or sneak behind structures. It feels like a classic game of hide and seek, but the smoother movement and more dynamic chases kind of set it apart from that. The best part of the game is when the tension starts to build. And that's when the person who's playing the hunter gets closer and closer to you, and you manage to either escape or mislead them. And that's what really kind of makes the game fun. When roles switch, the game feels also really fresh again, because hunting comes with its own version of excitement. There's not much strategy. I mean, you could try to understand the map layouts, and I guess that adds a bit of strategy to each round. Overall, it just works well with both small and large groups because the core concept never really changes. Everyone knows what to do right away, which keeps the pace consistent and accessible. The short round structure also prevents the game from feeling slow and boring, and it's just something that you can jump into and play really quick, and that's why we think it deserves a spot on this list. Three Finger Battle Arena is a physics-based arena fighter where everyone tries to push opponents out of the stage. The controls are intentionally simple, which means anyone can pick it up quickly. Most of the depth, I would say, comes from learning how the physics behave and when you should commit to an actual attack. The arenas change the way matches play out. Some are pretty straightforward platforms, while others include slopes, moving parts, or even hazards that reward good positioning. But even a small mistake can lead to you being eliminated. The rounds are pretty fast, and honestly, the stakes are pretty low. It's not really a serious game. It's a good game if you want something to kind of hop on quickly, get a couple rounds in, or maybe you're waiting for another game to download. Either way, great game, and you should check it out. Beat Me Puppetonia Tournament is a physics-based brawler featuring puppet-like characters with different abilities. The variety of characters affects how each match plays out. Some are more mobile and others hit harder, and some rely on tricky movement. Learning how each one fits into the arena gives the game a surprising amount of depth. The stages also include hazards, which can change how you approach each round. There's failing platforms, sometimes there's moving obstacles and unexpected traps that keep you guessing. Even when you think you have the advantage, the environment can shift things around in just seconds. It is another brawler, but I do think it's one of the better ones. And if you enjoy fighting games with a bit of unpredictability, then I think this is a good game to check out. Minigame Game is exactly what it sounds like. It is a compilation of quick challenges that test your reflexes, your timing, and your basic platforming skills. Each minigame is pretty straightforward, which allows your friend group to stay focused on the fun rather than learning complex rules. The game presentation and graphics, they're all pretty simple, but the game, it runs really smoothly and it loads quickly, so if you have a potato computer, this is going to be a good one for you. You jump straight from one challenge to the next without any downtime. So it's really fluid and it creates a good flow, and I could see people spending a decent amount of time in this game. The minigames are pretty short and the goals are really, really basic, but it keeps people involved and it's a fun game. There's not really too much to say about this one, but definitely worth having in your library and definitely worth checking out. Seal What the Fun is a fast-moving party platformer filled with short and pretty energetic challenges. The art style is very colorful and appealing, which matches the upbeat tone of the game. You jump, you dodge, you race, and you compete in a wide variety of different game modes. The overall movement in the game feels really smooth and really responsive, and even when things get kind of crazy, the game holds up really well. This game is probably one of the more polished games on the list, and it was actually very impressive when I played it. If you're looking for a well-rounded party game, this one is a great option and you should definitely look into it. Stumble Guys is kind of a meme, but genuinely it's one of the best party games out there. Not even just free, it's one of the best party games. It basically pits dozens of players against each other. Each round eliminates a portion of the group until one player remains. The physics-based movement means that small mistakes can basically send you bouncing off the track, which creates lots of memorable moments. The maps are great and there's a lot of variety, and each one teaches you something new about the obstacles. Some are focused on balance, others on moving platforms, and some are just basically go as fast as you can type maps. There is a lot of variety, and it makes it really easy to play several rounds without feeling repetitive. People are still playing it, and they're still making updates. Stumble Guys is a great party game, period, and you should go and download it. Klaus Veen's Treason, which used to be just Treason. I don't know what the other portion of that is, but it's a social deduction game that focuses on quick rounds and fairly easy objectives. Players have to work together to complete tasks, while one, or sometimes more, traitors secretly sabotage the mission. The game wastes no time. You're thrust right into the action with very little downtime between matches. It does depend on your player group. Some people just go straight into killing, and others play it kind of smart. I think the best part of Treason is the community. I've said this in the past, but the Treason community is hilarious. You'll meet people there that you'll probably end up playing other games with. This game works extremely well with an online party, or even if you're going in alone, you'll meet people. It's one of the better deduction games out there, and I'm happy to see that people are still playing it and it's still thriving. Definitely deserves the second spot on this list, and you should go check it out if you haven't already. Super Totally Ultimate Dad Showdown is a game built around a series of dad-themed challenges that range from races to competitive household tasks. Each event is designed to be fast and chaotic, and the simple controls make it easy for really anyone to join in. The variety of activities keeps the experience pretty fresh, and every round feels like a new scenario that plays out completely differently depending on how your group approaches it. Some of the in-game events can be stroller races, rushing through a store to grab items, dodgeball-style battles, and other random tasks that fit into the dad theme. Each mode is pretty short enough to encourage quick rematches, and the pacing keeps everyone pretty much involved the entire time. The game visuals look pretty good, and honestly, I think this one is probably the strongest pick because I can see this game being one where people come back and play it frequently. You can grab up to 4 people locally or online and just get in there and start playing some minigames. The minigames are short and fun, and the game has a lot of replayability. And even though the game came out in 2021, the game received a fairly recent update, so the devs really do care. This is a great free party game to play with your friends, and we definitely recommend having it in your Steam library. Alright, well that's going to be it. If you found a new party game to try, let us know which one you're jumping into first, or if there are any that we missed, let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed our content, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching everyone, and we will see you in the next one.